Good morning everyone, it's Bronte again. I figured today I would show you another day in the life in my lab. About a year ago I posted a day in the life of the lab and that seemed to be a very popular video, and I kind of want to do that again and also answer questions that were posted on my other video that I would love to answer that I have been seeing. So without further ado, let's start our day. All right, right now it is currently 6:30 in the morning. Managers' routines are different. My team, my technicians come around 8:30 in the morning to start their day. I usually get there at 7:30 to set up and see what other projects may have come up in the morning. So that's what I'm going to do at the moment. I'm actually gonna grab a coffee as well because it's been a little bit of a rush this morning. Yeah, we're gonna work it out. So without further ado, let's go to the lab. We use Airtable to keep my team very organized with the tasks at hand. I get asked, how do you maintain the tasks in the lab? And the best thing about Airtable is that you can use it remotely. You can use it on your phone. You can access it from your laptop. It almost works as like a phone plan. You buy lines to access any table templates that you want, and it makes it so easy to lay out the template how you want to, and you can organize your day exactly how you want to. You can actually form fit your, they're called bases, as you want to. So I have a project tracker for my team. I'm able to set the project, the date it needs to be completed by. If it's done, they get to put a check mark if it's done. I get to see the category, like production, if you can see it, high priority, they need to do it that day. If we have a meeting, they need to prep anything. The project team, if it's specific names, the team as a whole, they get to decide, and I give instructions or layout. They give me progress notes when they're done, and I actually get to plan the whole week like that. So it's been very, very useful to implement and plan out my day with my team. I wanted to keep the privacy of my technicians and the people that I work with, so you may see that I'm not deeply in the lab so much. In my last video, I'll link it down below, I was alone. I didn't have any technicians because they were in college, but now that it's summer, they're back to work, so I'm maintaining their privacy. So I hope you guys are okay with that. What I did want to tackle in this video was to answer some of the most common questions I have been getting and try and give the best explanation I can with those. Again, a little background about me. I have been a lab manager for a couple of years now. I started off as an intern, worked myself up as a technician, and I became a supervisor, and now where I'm at, manager. So I've been in the company for a while now. So most common question that I get is, what is the difference between a research assistant versus a lab technician? A research assistant deals with a lot more clerical, administrative portions, in my opinion. I've had it where you're doing research on the side for some scientists, you're inputting data, and you're just kind of doing those clerical duties. A lab technician, you are performing tasks in the lab, basically, and there are different levels, lab technician 1, 2, 3, and 4. And really how you get that status is your experience level, number 1, you're performing higher acuity level tasks, if that makes sense, when you're higher level, and you've just been in the training game longer. And some jobs require certain certifications in certain labs. I work in agricultural, there's medical labs, there's research studies labs, there's pharmaceutical labs. So some labs may require you to have certain certifications, really. But lab technicians, you are performing the labs. You are keeping the lab maintained, you're keeping the flow going, you're performing general daily activities, and you are helping the other scientists perform their projects and their tasks as well. And labs really count on lab technicians for the flow. I know I do with mine. Mine help the flow of the everyday tasks of the management portion the portion of the company that I am managing, and then I perform higher acuity projects and everything, and I have them assist on those when I feel that their training is up to par. So then my next common question is, what is it like being a lab manager? The difference between industry versus academia. I work in an industry lab. I work in a microbiology agricultural lab, and I have been in the lab manager role for the last couple of years now. And being a lab manager, it's a lot of stress because it all comes down to you when answers are being asked. You are in charge of your team, you're in charge of protocols, you're in charge of quality, you're in charge of the efficiency and the flow of the lab, materials, stocking of materials, and you need to understand all the other smaller projects that you have assigned to others, and it's your duty to check in with them and to see how they're doing. Because ultimately, you're going to be reporting to the upper heads about it. And of course, you go to meetings, of course, you are analyzing data, you are figuring out kinks and protocols and projects, but really it's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility, but hopefully that when anyone becomes a lab manager, they've had previous training in the company that they're at. It's very hard sometimes coming into a lab where you haven't been a lower position before, but it is doable. It's just, it is time consuming and stressful, but it is worth it. You do reap the rewards of teaching, and sometimes you get to choose when and what things happen that are kind of cool. And I think that leads into industry versus academia. The one major difference about the difference between industry and academia, I would have to say, is industry is always changing every day. You have to be at the beck and call of the changings within the company, and sometimes you don't have any handle on that. Sometimes you have to drop things and go and focus on other things. In my experience with industry, we have inner working projects along with our everyday projects. So sometimes our projects that we are just developing or researching have to be put on hold, and we have to go and focus on the everyday matters that could be affected that day, and we need to put all of our focus on. So really, if you are going to work in an industry lab, time management is key, and learning how to juggle things and learning how to adapt when things change at the drop of a hat. And believe me, I plan out my weeks, and every day a wrench could be thrown into it, and you need to know how to handle that. And it's frustrating, but it's not boring at the same time. My experience with academia labs, that was in my grad school, that was post-college for me. That's where I got my research experience. My thing is, it's the same thing almost every day. You work on your project, you're given, sometimes your supervisor, everything would want meetings to see how your projects are going, the research that you've found. You have to report your findings and kind of come up with rationales as to why things are occurring. General everyday stuff still in an academia lab, upkeeping the lab, stocking buffers and solutions and following protocols and policies. That's not different, but main difference for me, academia versus industry. Industry is ever changing almost every day. Academia, you're almost working on set projects and kind of the flow's like the same every day, and that's in my opinion. In my preference, I like industry better than academia because I get to do something different every single day. And that is different across the boards with the different types of labs. I want to make that clear. So another question that I've gotten is, you may have noticed on my channel, I make vlog videos just about my life and my experience as a nurse. So I decided I've wanted to go into healthcare. I've always wanted to be a doctor, and I decided to flip that switch and go into nursing. I've always wanted healthcare. I love dealing with people, but I am a registered nurse. So I made that switch. Why I made that switch? It stems back to me always wanting to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be a vet, then I wanted to turn to becoming a doctor, then I was more fitted for the nursing lifestyle, so I went to nursing school, completed my degree in that. So I have a Bachelor of Science in Nursing and in Neuroscience pre-med. Wow, it kicked my butt, but it is worth it. Do I feel that my lab experience has stunted my experience in nursing? Absolutely not. My aseptic technique in changing bandages and in my whole outwardly view of healthcare and the importance of sterility is so important. My time management skills are awesome, knowing how to juggle changes, and a patient's condition can change, right? So learning all of that and just learning how to work in an environment that is quality critical too. So, and we want to take care of our patients the best way that we can. So my main reason for switching was working in a lab was very comforting for me. I always loved science. I always loved working in the lab. I always loved learning new things. Science was just my subject and I loved it. Management is something that I love, but it wasn't my passion. But I feel like you really need to experience something in order to figure out if you like something or not. And I like the lab, but I don't love the lab. I love being in the hospital and being with patients. So yeah, that's really the only reason. I've done lab for many years. I've been in labs since I was 18. I'm not counting the high school years. We all had to do that, but in labs since undergraduate and graduating, and then in my young professional career. And now I know healthcare and dealing with the health of others is what I really want to do. But I don't regret my time in labs at all. So I really think it only helped me in my performance. So yeah, I hope that answered some of your questions. They've been a lot, but those are the most common questions I have been getting. So feel free to comment down below if you have any more questions or if you want any advice. I'm happy to give it. But I really hope you like this cute little short video, and let me know if you want to see more. I'll definitely try and film more in the lab, but I actually have to finish up my day. Can't bring the camera in to where I am going. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, let me know. If you want to subscribe to my channel, give me a subscribe or like this video if you want to, but I hope you